Admittedly, personally, I'm not usually the biggest fan of these mobile phone service providers. However, looking at this chart over the last 5 years and certainly over the last 10 years, starting to change my mind a little bit. I mean, look at that, 187%, doubling the S&P 500 performance over the last 5 years. You don't have a crazy drop in COVID. You do have a spike in 2021, but it doesn't fall down except for a little bit in 2022. It's mostly flat, right? So there's diversification there. It's not trading like a tech stock. Admittedly, it's not a tech stock, but it's not trading like one, right? And you can see the crazy highs we're hitting now. And the PE ratio is about the S&P 500 as well. So it's not crazy overvalued at all. It's actually right on value. The dividend's higher, so you're not losing any performance there, right? And since 2014, you've basically tripled the S&P 500. I mean, look at that, right? I mean, it's a little bit later. I mean, we can actually, later is even better for it. 234% going off of December of 2014. This is insane. Absolutely crazy performance, right? Let's take a look at the PE a little bit deeper, that forward PE. Yep, forward PE is 25. I mean, you aren't seeing dramatic growth, but I mean, that's still probably fine. And considering it usually beats it, you're maybe looking at 24 there, right? So this is a stock that is right at S&P 500 values and has historically, by historically I mean the last decade, it's outperformed. But even if you're looking at, since 2008, it's still not been awful, but it was a little. It was certainly rough. I mean, you ran sideways for a good decade, right? Maybe the dividend was higher there. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this specific stock, but over the last decade, right? That's usually good performance, because leadership comes and goes, right? Policies come and go, technologies come and go. So usually a decade's a better indicator, although you would prefer the growth to be all throughout. Like, you're doing fine here, right? So, like I said, I'm usually not the biggest fans of these. I just fear that there's only so much innovation you can do, right? For example, look at an AMD, right? Or, anything, like even like an Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta, right? Mag 7. They can do so much innovation and they can just hit it out of the park, right? I just fear with, these mobile service providers and all that, there's just only so much they can do. And 5G is going to make more money, and maybe there's 6G. I don't even know. I'm just making that up. I'm not an expert on this specific field, right? But there's only so much innovation you can have. And phones will always be getting better. There's always going to be better. There's always going to be that next step, right? But I just worried there's a strong ceiling. But then again, I own many stocks with a strong ceiling too. And I think T-Mobile is going to outperform most stocks in the long term, right? It seems to be a very, very solid company, very, very solid leadership. It's outperforming its peers. I mean, if you take a look at Verizon, I know the stock is set up so differently because it pays a high dividend, right? But it's been declining, right? It has not been returning the profits to shareholders like T-Mobile has, right? So Schwab gives it an A. They think it's going to be the top 7% of all stocks performing the next year. They think it's going to do very, very well. I don't know if it's going to do that well. It could. I usually look at a long-term outlook. I don't know where it's going to be in 1 year, but hopefully in 3 to 5 years, I can get a good feeling that, hey, this company is going to do well. T-Mobile is probably one of those companies. Like I said, I do not own this stock, but I'm not hesitant to. I think it looks very good. A lot of indicators that it's going to keep doing good as well, right? So we can see buy, long, buy, moderate ESG score, excuse me. So it gets good ratings. It really has. We can take a look at other analysts. Everyone's saying buy virtually. What is that? 23 of the 30 analysts say buy or strong buy. Another 6 say hold. And then one dude over the last, since August has been saying underperform. It technically could be a different person, but let's see. How much has it gone up since August? I can see on the chart it has done very well. I love it when the chart doesn't load at all. Oh, Yahoo's broken, but it looks like it's up about 23% over the last. Yeah. So it's the dude's been saying it's going to underperform, and in that time frame, it's doubled basically the performance you hope for in a year, right? So it's done very well. Let's take a look at the PE. Yeah, I mean it's basically running flat, right? Maybe the PE bounces between 24 and 28. Forward PE somewhere between 13 and 21. So forward PE is higher. I mean, it's much higher, and also it's dramatically different than what Schwab's saying. They do a little bit of way to do it, but So that's something to note, I guess. But really, there's nothing a whole lot of interesting here. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a solid company in a industry that is important, right? Is there crazy innovation in it? Probably not. You're not going to have your crazy self-driving car or your AI that's just going to do whatever. But this is a really good company and one of the largest companies in the entire world, certainly in the United States. So anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. I like T-Mobile. I think it's going to do well in the long term. This is not investment advice, of course. Do your own research and that sort of thing. But this company seems fine. I'm not saying anything groundbreaking here by saying this company has done well. It looks like it's poised to continue to do well in the long term, right? So if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you left a like, right? It helps the video perform actually quite a bit. Whenever I see someone interact, leave a like, watch the video, it helps the channel out a lot. It helps the video performance out. I would appreciate if you subscribed if you like content. I cover all sorts of stocks on this channel, all the large ones in the United States. I'm basically just going to the top 100 right now. But anyways, I appreciate all of you for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time.